Let me now bring in my colleague Amritpal Singh for more on this. Hi Amrit, now how significant is the new Lankan president visit in the context of overall India-Sri Lanka relations?
It is a very significant visit, Gautam. The very fact that the Sri Lankan president chooses India as the first foreign port of call after assuming presidency in September this year speaks about the importance Mr. Dissanayake attaches to this relationship. It's traditionally been a very important relationship. India has been a significant partner, is the closest neighbor to Sri Lanka, either by land or maritime, sharing a maritime border. So you become natural partners. You're the first responders in any point of crisis. They have friends in other parts of the world. They have lenders like China and Japan who are bigger lenders than you, but still you remain a significant lender to Sri Lanka. When the economic crisis hit them, you help them in a big way, which I'll delve on at length a little later. So it is an important visit. Politically also, your relationship has been important, though it has had its ups and downs. Now Mr. Dissanayake wants to begin on a clean slate, strengthening the political relationship between New Delhi and Colombo, various issues related to trade, investment, because their economy is in doldrums, would come up for discussion, strengthening maritime cooperation, given that you share a common security concern when it comes to the Indian Ocean region, free and fair and unimpeded flow of sea lanes and sea traffic through the region would be discussed. The issue of the fishermen and of course India's developmental assistance and various ongoing development projects there, and also the reconciliation process in the north and east of Sri Lanka would figure in the discussions between the two leaders and their delegations tomorrow at the Hyderabad House here in Delhi. So it's a significant visit, Gautam.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned it a bit, but India's assistance to Sri Lanka during its 2022 economic crisis is a big marker anywhere in the world, really, for neighborly relations. Now, what does it mean for bilateral ties going forward? Does it have weightage to the extent that a lot of people might feel that it should?
Well, it does. It does carry a certain weightage because when economic crisis hit them, you help them in terms of assistance to about to the tune of $4 billion. You'd already provide them assistance of about 600 million clear grant to them. You're working in building their infrastructure, be it schools, hospitals, for the offshore petrol vehicles for their navy, etc. So you do stand by them in their hour of crisis. You help them with oil supplies when oil supplies, the crude oil was crude and both consumption oil was short, and there were long queues and the country's economy had come to a virtual halt. So you did respond as first responders. They realized that though during the run-up to the elections or in general in the Sri Lankan polity, there is a certain sense of trepidation that they look at with India with because of various factors, because you're the bigger neighbor. So there are apprehensions that exist in some quarters, but there also is a feeling that India has steadfastly stood by Sri Lanka in their hour of crisis, and Mr. Dissanayaka's visit would want to build on that. He's not just meeting government, he's not just meeting the Prime Minister and his delegation, but he's also engaging with business leaders, where he'll be seeking more investments into his country, more manufacturing in his country, more increasing trade and commercial linkages between the two sides. So clearly it does have a bearing of how the relationship has transpired, and especially the role you played when they were hit by economic crisis.
Right, and Amrit, right now, of course, Sri Lanka has pressing economic needs, but the backdrop that the new president comes from, his economic worldview has been a different one compared to perhaps the kind of a manner in which Sri Lanka needs to move forward at this moment. So, how is he going to deal with India and countries like India when he wants to ensure that his country heals in the manner that he's seeking to heal it?
His both political views and economic views on cooperation with India have not really been ones that would signal that he is a friend of India. But Mr. Dissanayake is a realistic man. He realizes now he's the president of the country. His first and foremost priority is to secure his country's economic and geostrategic interests. And he sees India playing a central role in that. And therefore, when External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar had visited Colombo right after after his inauguration, he had said that he would not allow any activity from the soil of Sri Lanka that's inimical to security interests of India, because that's a concern with India too, with all kinds of Chinese ships docking into Colombo and Hambantota. It does raise concerns for India, security concerns for India. So I think Mr. Dissanayake realizes that was then and this is now. He needs to fine-tune that, and he needs India to go forward on getting the economy of his country back on track. So I think that is the mindset with which he would have come with Delhi. But that's not to say that there are no divergences. Yes, divergences exist, but I think what will transpire behind the closed doors of Hyderabad House tomorrow would be how to build on the convergences and narrow down the divergences. Gautam.
All right, let's see what happens. Amrit, thanks for joining us for the time being.